Your friend started the gym after you, and now he's bigger than you. You train hard, you show up, you do everything right, but why is he still growing faster than you? I've been in that exact position, and the real reason is probably not what you think. Well, to start off, the first reason is probably that you overthink. If you're anything like me and you're watching this type of video, you're probably obsessed about fitness. You're obsessed about the gym. You want to go ahead and achieve your dream physique as fast as you can. But I'm here to tell you that going to the gym and building muscle will go ahead and take time. Doesn't matter what kind of workout routine you have, doesn't matter what kind of diet you have. If you're not on steroids, building muscle is gonna take a little bit of time. Now, if you're obsessed about the gym and you're trying to optimize your training, your workout routine, everything, you're probably routine hopping, just like how I was back even a few months ago, where I was looking at this exercise and this exercise, or this training routine and this training routine, and I was debating on which one is better for my gains. Like, oh, if I do this exercise, my physique isn't going to be as aesthetic if I do this exercise. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't train my upper back so much because my lats will be lacking. Or, like, oh, maybe this exercise isn't as stable as this one, and this exercise promotes more hypertrophy. Like, you start going obsessed about the gym and you start becoming like little gym autist. Whereas your friend who goes to the gym, he doesn't overthink his routine. He doesn't overthink his exercises. He just does whatever he wants to do, basically. He does the exercises which feel the best. Like, for example, that could be just the normal bench press. It doesn't have to be some sort of weird cable attachment which promotes like the ultra deep stretch. Like, he just does exercises which he enjoys and he just sticks with them and he progressively overloads, and that's it, right? Because once you start obsessing about the gym, you want to go ahead and achieve faster results. But I'm here to tell you that the real 80-20 rule of fitness is really just train hard, eat well, and sleep well. Like, that's basically it. Of course, there's little tweaks which you can make to your training and to your diet, but that's the three core rules of actually growing bigger in the gym. And you do not need to be routine hopping. You just need to be staying consistent with your training, okay? You do not need to be skipping the gym. You need to be staying consistent with your workout program, with your exercises, and managing to go ahead and progressively overload each week, because your friend who's getting bigger than you, he's not overthinking this stuff. He's not overthinking his exercises, his routine, his diet, or anything. He just shows up and actually pushes hard. Which leads me on to my next reason as to why your friend is getting bigger than you, is because your friend probably trains harder than you. He goes to failure. He trains hard. He adds more weight each week. But you're here just trying to sort of train hard, but you're not actually going to failure. And you're not even getting close to failure, right? Because I hear a lot of beginners say that, oh yeah, I train hard, I train to failure. But honestly, I have a hard time believing that. And no offense to you if you're saying this and you're a beginner, but once you start actually becoming more advanced into training, you start realizing back a few months ago where you weren't actually training as hard as you think you were, okay? Because most beginners, they don't actually get to real failure. They might get to like 12 reps, which, everyone says, oh, do 8 to 12 reps. And you'll just, do 12 reps and then you'll just finish your set when you could have done another like 5 or even 6 reps, right? So really, most people, they don't know what true failure looks like. From now on, I really want you just to push yourself, okay? Let's say that you've been doing the same weight for weeks and weeks. How about you even try and do more weight today in this gym session, But you might be thinking, oh, I'll only be able to do like 6 reps. Try it anyway, try it anyway. You don't need to be just having this mindset where like, oh, I must hit only this amount of reps, okay? Because if I get anything lower, then it's a complete like fail. Just go ahead and try, bro, because I'm here to tell you that your friend who's outgrowing you, he's not overthinking all of this stuff, He's not thinking, you know what? Oh, if I add too much weight, then, I'm gonna do less reps in like the hypertrophy zone. Like I'm gonna do only like 5 or 6 reps instead of like the 8 to 12 or the 8 to 15 or whatever. If anything, I actually have an example of, I used to train with one of my old friends back a few months ago. And, we would be doing an exercise, for example, like the standing shoulder press. And, he would be training and he would be doing his set. And let's say he would get to like 8 reps. And I would say like, oh yeah, congrats, like you can put the weight back. He would say, nah, man, you know what? I still got a few more reps in the tank. And after he would let go of the weight, he would bring it back up and he would squeeze out another 1 to 2 or even 3 more reps, okay? And on accident, he was just doing like a pause set. And that's the sort of mentality which you gotta have. You really have to be coming into the gym and really thinking that I need to give everything my all. Every single set, I need to go ahead and really try and push myself, and break like the own like sort of mental battle, because going to the gym and training to failure is literally a little bit of a mental battle, especially with more of the harder exercises like the squat, the overhead press, even like the bench press, right? A lot of people actually struggle to go to failure on these specific exercises because they actually hurt. It's very uncomfortable. It's really like taxing on the body and it gives you like all of this fatigue. But if you're able to manage through that, you're actually gonna go ahead and keep growing. Now, the third reason and the final reason as to why you're not growing as fast as you think you are is because you chase perfection. And what do I mean by chasing perfection? Are you trying to achieve the perfect physique? No, I'm saying that you wait for the perfect moment. And the more and more you become like this weird little gym autist who overthinks everything, and I was like this as well, and maybe I still kind of am because I make like these types of videos and everything. The more you start optimizing your training and your diet, you start waiting for these perfect moments, the perfect sort of set, the perfect sort of day where, like, for example, like in my case, I would have this a few times where, let's say I didn't get a meal in for like multiple hours and, I'm supposed to go to the gym right now, but I think, what, I don't have enough carbs in my system. I didn't get a good pre-workout meal. Like, my workout's going to be dead. And you know what, I'm going to go ahead and make some food. But if I go ahead and make some food, then it's going to be too late to go to the gym, and then I'll think maybe I should skip the gym altogether. I'm actually glad that I didn't end up skipping the gym, and I would still usually go, and usually my training sessions wouldn't even be as bad. But stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the perfect opportunity, the perfect day when I feel motivated and, I feel strong today. And you know what? Today I'm going to go ahead and try and get that PR because, I feel strong. But, sometimes on those days where you feel sort of miserable, you feel sort of like weak and everything, you actually go to the gym and it's actually a pretty good lift. You get a pretty good pump. You feel pretty strong. Another thing which I wanted to point out is that I was making this mistake for such a long time where I was thinking I must hit 12, 13 reps and then I can only go ahead and increase the weight. But with certain exercises, you might plateau a little bit, and let's say that you only get to like 10 reps and you'll think, oh, you know what, I didn't get to 12 reps, so I shouldn't add more weight. But you know what? I'm here to tell you that your friend who's getting bigger than you, he's just adding the weight regardless, right? And I'm not saying you need to add a ton of more weight, but let's say that you're stuck at like 50 kg bench press and you can only do like 10, 11 reps. You don't get to like 12 or 13 as you wanted, but still go ahead and try to add more weight, okay? And surprisingly, if you actually add more weight, you'll be able to do like 5, 6, 7 reps. Like it's all possible, right? You just need to go ahead and push out of your comfort zone and actually try something new, okay? Because I'm here to tell you that if you're stuck with the same exercise and the same rep range, the same weight, go ahead and just try to add a little bit more weight, Because usually if you're not growing as fast as you think you are, you're probably not training as hard as you think you are. That's as simple as that. Now, that's it with the video. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want a free one-on-one consultation with me in regards to your gym progress, your physique progress, and becoming aesthetic in the gym, then check it out. It's free, link in the description, free one-on-one coaching for the first 15 people who sign up. And if you've enjoyed this video, I'm sure that you will enjoy some of these videos right up here.